Navy Pier flyover has neither boats or planes. It's JS Live. Tonight's guests include, from Florida, Space Gal, HAPS Community Manager Pablo De La Hoya, and co-living space owner John Ho. And now, a man who thinks offshore drilling is something a dentist does. Here's your host, Jim.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, you couldn't even hear me because the drill that Chris Rossetti was referring to was in my mouth, and I had the Novocaine in there, and you couldn't hear. Yeah. So the good news is the Novocaine quickly rubs off, and I'm fine. Everything will be normal. Welcome to Thursday. No, it's not Thursday. You wish it was Thursday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. Welcome to JS Live, your prime time talk and variety program on its new home night every Tuesday evening, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I am Jim. I am from the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Thanking you for spending your Tuesday evening here on HAPS, the network of now. Tonight, through the power of HAPS, we are bringing three outstanding guests, each of which bring original content and a lot of energy to this platform. We have a great lineup here. I'm thanking you for jumping over here to Tuesday nights. This evening, we have, first and foremost, we have from beautiful Florida, we have the amazing Space Gal. Yes, Space Gal will be with us this evening to kick off our Tuesday edition of JS Live. Also on the program, it is HAPS Community Manager Pablo De La Hoya joining us from beautiful, scenic, sunny Southern California. Will he be riding his bike? Will he be playing with Marley? Will he be deeply entrenched in the HAPS server with Brett? All of that and other tantalizing questions will be addressed when the one and only Pablo joins us live. And also this evening, technically Wednesday morning, halfway around the world, thanks to technology, John Ho will be joining us, sharing us the sights, the sounds, and maybe just his living room. That's why we call this JS Live, because it's spontaneous and anything goes. And it wouldn't be a broadcast without you guys here in the virtual studio audience. So without you guys, we wouldn't have a program. That's why we say, and we proverbially say, HAPS Unity is community. Hence, that's why I put a virtual message in there to say hi to Blaine, who's on after me. Beardo and Weirdo is a part of our Tuesday night block here on HAPS. And I want to thank Blaine and Piano Man for letting me squeeze in here for a little bit before their program. I'm pre-gaming for Blaine and Piano Man. So we're pre-gaming before we go live, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure you check out Blaine, BC48, and Piano Man 50. That's Blaine and Piano Man, the Beardo and Weirdo Show, the Tuesday edition. Blaine is back home in Utah, guys. And if you missed his broadcasts over there in New York with Piano Man, they were going to all these, they went to the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. They went to a bunch of antique shops. They went all over the place. So give me your hand. Give me your hand if you didn't watch Blaine and Piano Man. Shame on you. Watch them, follow them, sponsor them, subscribe to them. Every single Tuesday and Friday, and occasionally they'll do some special Sunday editions of Beardo and Weirdo here on HAPS, the network of now. So make sure you check that out. And don't worry, Thursdays are still intact with HAPS stars. My good friend Carrie, the amazing Michelle, and a surprise guest Thursdays, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific here on HAPS. So make sure you check them out as well. Hello to Blaine, to Eric, to Dan, to all you replay viewers, to Daryl, to Debeth, to all of you guys in here. Such an honor to have you on board. I know it's a very early start. This is like breakfast for me. Yeah. I just made tacos upstairs for them. I'm joking. It's dinner time for them. They're fed. I'm fed. We're all fed. And I was fed up with the Cubs game today, so I turned it off. It's 3-2 in the eighth inning, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, we have a lot of fun tonight, so thank you for hanging out with us here on HAPS. Our first guest this evening hails from beautiful Central Florida. She is a stone's throw away from the Kennedy Space Center. She has been a staple on live streaming media for over 6.5 years. She started off her illustrious career over there on that the late great Periscope. Remember that little place we used to hang out at? Yeah. She is now here on HAPS, the network of now, and she carries the handle that we all know and love. She is undoubtedly the First Lady of Space Aeronautics News and Events. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from beautiful, sunny, well, it's dark Florida, but it's a lot sunnier than, well, it's like 50 degrees here in Chicago. Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature in Chicago?
Right now, in Chicago, Illinois, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 39 degrees.
Low of 39.
You can also ask me questions about sunrise and sunset times.
Alexa, stop. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, your friend and mine, the one and only Space Gal. Hello, Alicia. How are you?
Hey, everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's an early show. People have been asking me, Jim, why are you on so early? It's because on Tuesdays of all things. Well, because Blaine's on after me on Tuesdays. Number two, I'm playing softball on Tuesdays, so softball's kind of taken over Thursdays. So I'm nowhere near HAPS on Thursdays. But enough of that rambling. Let's get back on here with Alicia. Let's see if I can squeeze this in. Thanks to modern technology. Look at that, everybody. There she is.
Hi, everyone.
How's the weather? They still have gas in Florida.
We are having shortages. The governor just declared a state of emergency here on our gasoline, even though we're not on the pipeline.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's a smart move. I mean, I think it's just something. Let's not all panic. I mean, I'm sure there's lines everywhere around the country.
Yeah, my daughter actually told me Vieira's out of gas. Everyone's looking for gas. My son has 3,000 gallons worth of unleaded at his station. So.
Oh my God! Oh, look at this. You got connections. Even better. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's something that I saw. I last night. I kind of got hints about this thing happening, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to literally go over to the local gas station over here near the Home 20, and I literally just filled up. And I told my wife last night, I'll get your car done too, fill it up, get over there. So we're set. Like I said, it feels like 1973 again. Like
right, with the license plates. License plates. I remember sitting in them lines.
Yep, odd even. Remember those days?
Yep, yes. And phone numbers were 4 digits and letters and numbers.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it was just downright. Downright.
Yeah, Columbia, we know you have a Tesla. Rub it in.
This is just a way for all of the Teslas and the electric cars to get their stock needs to go up a little bit higher in this day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just what we need. Well, and we'll talk about gas and all that stuff later. We're talking about something even more advanced than electric. We're talking about SpaceX. We're going to talk about NASA. We're going to talk about other endeavors into space. Well, first of all, let's just cut to the chase. Let's stick to the now. What has been the most eye-opening development that you have observed so far in space and aeronautics?
Oh, there's so many, and I picked my top 3.
Ooh, fire away.
Okay, American astronauts launching on American rockets from American soil, and we've done it twice now.
Yep.
To be there to witness that was amazing.
What was that like? That must have just, I mean, to witness that, I mean.
Yeah, and even during all the COVID and everything, and it being so limited to what we used to have and stuff, and just it was amazing. I was very honored to be able to be there and everything, and get to witness it and see everyone, get the interviews, be close to the interviews. It's great, And then the other thing now, I guess. That really struck me was the Artemis Rocket the other day when it arrived at Kennedy Space Center.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's just making So now they've got to pair that up in the VA, the VAB, and that's going to take us to the moon. That's our next stop, going back to the moon, right? And then you have the Mars Perseverance.
Yep.
That has landed, right?
Yes.
And then you have the Ingenuity, first helicopter flying on another planet. So
that is wild, and that was something I was going to touch. I mean, that's something I want to touch upon. I think that was one of the. I always tell this to everybody in our audience. I kind of tell this to my guests whenever I go live as a courtesy to my guests. I usually just send them a list of questions I'd like to ask. And then from there, they can decide, okay, this one's all right, or maybe don't ask this one, or maybe you can ask it this way. It's just improvisational like we're doing right now. And one of the questions coincidentally had something to do with that rover over there, the Perseverance rover that's been flying over the surface of Mars. NASA last week shared their first ever audio to accompany that video from Mars. Could you tell our viewers about that amazing Ingenuity helicopter?
Yeah, so the Ingenuity now has completed its 5th flight, the longest flight, 108 seconds. It's actually landed in a new first aerial flight landing zone. So it's going to continue to move with Perseverance, and it's going to do more observations, but it's actually, they're hoping for 3 or 4 more flights in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
But it's just amazing that it flew. They didn't, you can do all these tests here on Earth,
right?
And then to actually see, Perseverance be able to watch the helicopter raise up, and then land back down, and
they
then
were looking at each other.
Yeah, it can't operate without Perseverance.
Right.
It has to communicate. So they were given 30 days to do all their stuff with Ingenuity and everything. So, and that's where we are within that 30-day timeline, and I think they're getting a little bit more. Perseverance is now doing some studies of rocks. They're looking for micro life on it, and past riverbed they're in, Jericho's crater they're in. So it's really cool.
That is
stuff that they're looking for. And it's also going to capture little capsules and rocks and stuff and the dirt. And then we're going to have a flight in another year or two. We'll have someone go back and retrieve those capsules. And then they'll come back to Earth.
That is just spectacular. I mean, this is just such cutting edge technology in this day and age, especially. And if you're just jumping on, welcome to JS Live. No, it's not Thursday, it's Tuesdays. Yes, because of softball, I'm now doing my primetime Talking Variety program instead of a late night Talking Variety program. I'm doing it here on Tuesdays at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, and then Thursday it's softball night. We're talking with the amazing space gal here about space aeronautics, the Mars rover, a bunch of other stuff and everything. So back to Mars here really quick, since we're on this subject. I marvel at the fact that those things can operate for as long as they have. I mean, how hot is the surface temperature on Mars?
Oh, it's how cold it is too.
Cold, yeah. I mean, there's extremes.
Yeah, how cold there's the extremes. And I don't know the exact temps, Jim.
It's just.
I would have to look it up. The wind is another issue, and the dust storms that they get there is another issue, which is, like Opie. The dust got on it when the winds came. It wasn't able to clear it off, so we lost Opie. This happens. They try to put them in a sleep mode, to put them in a protection spot, so because they can see the dust storms coming and stuff. So
right.
But yeah, it's amazing. It's just to hear the sound, the wind. The pictures, new pictures are coming in. We got new pictures up a couple of days ago. They put some more pictures up.
Yep.
You have so many different cameras on everything and microphones on everything. I can't wait to see what they come up with next there.
I mean, this
So
is
boldly
absolutely
go where no man has gone. Right.
exactly, Mike. Exactly. And everybody in the studio audience, or the virtual studio audience, all the comments, thank you for all the awards, and thank you for spending your Tuesday night with us here. This is a unique experience for me. I don't usually do anything on Tuesdays, but after me, make sure you check out the Blaine, BC48 Blaine. So Blaine put some stuff up in the comments field if you could. He and Piano Man, Blaine and Piano Man coming up after me. The Beardo and Weirdo show that comes up after tonight's JS Live. So changing gears, I mean, SpaceX has been everywhere in the news. Obviously, you recently discussed the live launch of the SpaceX Starlink launch from LC-39A.
Right.
Could you share like the specifics and the details about that launch and tell us of your impressions of it?
Yeah. So that one, we've also had another one too, by the way. We just had one 2 nights ago.
Oh, that's
since
right.
then.
That's right.
So we've had 2. So, but we'll talk about the 39A. I can do both kind of.
Yeah, please do.
So the 39A, the one that I was at that you guys got to watch, that was the 25th mission of 60 Starlink satellites being sent up. It was the 9th flown rocket. The one that went up 2 nights ago was the 10th flown rocket. These rockets that come back to an autonomous drone ship, either on land or in the ocean, can be flown 100 times. That's what Elon's goal is.
That's awesome.
But to only refurbish them every 10 flights. So he does nothing to them. Nothing. So they look scorched. It's amazing to see these rockets and the burn marks on them from re-entering the atmosphere and everything.
Right.
So and that has flown, the L-25 one flew Telstar 18V September 2018.
Oh,
Iridium
nice.
8 January of 2019, and then it's flown 7 Starlink missions. Was that one? So
God, that's something. So they're setting satellites up there, and I mean, I'm just thinking back to like when, back when the space shuttle came out back in the early 80s. I mean, God, I was still in high school when that stuff was going on, and just seeing it looked like on top of that rocket was like an airplane. I felt like I was at O'Hare or something watching it on TV on the networks in school. And then now you see what Elon Musk is doing now with SpaceX. I mean, think the progress.
Right. And the crazy thing is, usually I sleep through the launches if they're like at 3 o'clock in the morning. The other night that rocket went up, it took me off the couch. I have never felt a rocket. It it woke everyone. Well, I don't think it woke my daughter up, but it woke my son up. But the dog started barking. It was like through the house. So I can't wait for the SLS rocket, the Artemis rocket. I can't wait to see how that's going to feel. So,
it was either that SpaceX thing or it was a really fun wild night over at Alicia's house. Woo!
Yeah, right. Or some of the old people that live in here. You never know.
All the blue hairs are going.
Yeah.
Someone's happy tonight.
I was like, I had just fallen asleep. I was sleeping maybe 15 or 20 minutes. I was trying to stay up for it and I fell asleep. But,
So you how could you fall back asleep? You must have been so geeked about that.
Well, I did jump up and ran outside and caught the rocket as it was going. And then when it hit MECO, which is the main engine cutoff, so the engine cuts off, the rocket breaks off, it comes back to Earth, and then it starts its second engine, so you could see it. Like if I would have been out at Kennedy, I could see the rocket actually come back. Like you can actually see the burn come back. I got it on my video.
Oh, that is so cool.
Out there. Yeah, very cool.
That is absolutely amazing. So I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. So we talked about LC-39A, and then tell us about the one on Saturday.
That was at LC-40, which is on Cape Canaveral Space Force. So 2 different launch pads. One's on NASA, one's on the Space Force.
So Space Force, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Nice. So if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to the JS Live Tuesday night prime time talk and variety program. Yes, I'm not on Thursdays anymore because of softball. Yes, so you can thank the Glenview Park District for messing up a good thing. I was live streaming for 6.5 years every Thursday, and then softball happened. So here I am on Tuesdays, and thank you to Blaine and to Piano Man for letting me jump on pre-gaming for the Beardo and Weirdo show coming up here after the JS Live Talk and Variety program over most of this HAPS network here. We are talking to the amazing Alicia, aka Space Gal. Well, we've talked about the Mars Perseverance rover. We have discussed, a little bit about SpaceX. Now, when you go to like Kennedy Space Center or when you go to these launches, are there like a bunch of like regulars that you see over there, and you know them? Are you in with anybody there, or how's that work out?
Yeah, so there's a lot of photographers. There's that I'm really close with. Teresa Cross Photography, she's amazing. If I have any questions, she always helps me out on my photography. And any pictures you see of me with stuff, normally she takes those pictures of me for me. Dr. Ken Kramer, he's with Space Up Close. He holds 10 patents with Pfizer, believe it or not.
Pfizer, really?
Yes, very cool. You will see him on a lot of the news stations globally, a lot over in BBC and stuff. And then I guess some of the things that I do miss is our media briefing room. I miss those. I really miss those.
Pretty much.
Some of when Elon's there, Elon will stay and talk to us.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
Really
you've met
cool.
Elon?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Really? What was that like?
It's kind of amazing, like to be in this room, and I have like Benji sitting on my right, which is one of the people that take care of the rocket stuff, and then I got the engineers on the left of me, and I got Elon's brother behind me with his kids, and you're packed like sardines in this room. And then after everything's done, sorry.
Right on cue, the dog.
Right. And after everything's done, it's like Elon will stand there and talk to you as long as he can until they start chasing him out, He's just amazing, like trying to get him like to dance and stuff like that. We put him up to little things to do. It's really cool. And I always get messages like when I was in the media room, they're like, "Oh, Alicia's on NASA TV. Alicia's on NASA TV." For some reason, I'm always getting clipped in. So
that is amazing. Did when you asked Elon to dance, did he dance?
COVID came up, and the challenge. I don't think he ever did it. Because he had COVID for the first manned launch. And that's what it was for.
Got it.
So he was not there, or at least we don't think he was, because he had positive, negative, and everything like that. So
okay, got it. Got it. Hey, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to JS Live. No, it's not Thursday. It's my new home on Tuesday nights. I'm Jim from the Chicago area, joined by the amazing Space Gal. Make sure you subscribe to her on all socials, including here on HAPS, the network of now. Here, her handle is Space Gal. We have HAPS Community Manager Pablo de la Hoya coming up, and later on from Thailand, we have the incomparable John Ho joining us. So, Alicia, after hours upon hours of watching NASA TV or making jaunts over to this KSC, the Kennedy Space Center, or watching launches from the comforts of your mid-Florida home, when there's no space activity, what do you do for fun away from being on HAPS and everything?
I love, me and my son or my daughter, we love to go and do to the beach, the pool. I just love spending time with my kids. They're older.
Okay.
They're grown adults, 35 and 25.
That's cool.
It's just amazing that I play games on my computers.
There you go.
I also do game playing for EA.
Ooh, really? That's awesome.
I actually have one tomorrow from 12 to 2. So I get to test things that are not out on the market.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. So you're
Most
kind of
people
like
don't know I do that. Jesse was doing it, and I started doing it recently. So, and I get free games.
Ooh, nice.
So I got a big one coming up. I got it for 10 days, and I'm actually getting like 5 games, and it's going to be all the Sim stuff.
Now, so it's like sim games. So it's kind of like the, you know.
Yeah, there's a whole list of anything EA I can get.
Really? Look at
the
you.
Star
Nice.
Wars games, everything.
Any Madden? The Madden football games?
If it's an EA game, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes,
So,
that's awesome. That is so incredible. Now, how far are you from the beach, by the way?
Okay, so I live directly behind Kennedy Space Center. So 20 minutes to Cape Canaveral, which is the National Seashore. Cape Canaveral National Seashore. It's about 15 minutes towards the east, or north, and then east. And to the south is Cocoa Beach, which is about 20-25 minutes, give or take traffic.
God, whenever I hear the word Cocoa Beach, I'm showing my age here, and you'll be able to know what I'm talking about. I always think of I Dream of Jeannie with Major Nelson.
Right, and that's where it's filmed.
I'm in Cocoa Beach with Major Healy. And
yeah, we have an I Dream of Jeannie Lane there.
Are you serious?
Yes, and they have a I Dream of Jeannie event where Barbara Eden comes down, and they do a look-alike thing. Guys get dressed up in it and everything. I'll have to go down there when they do that again. So,
oh my goodness! And what's amazing is that I have family up down in Boca. I have family up in Palm Coast.
Yep.
So, and I have family waiting on the other side near Naples and all that. But I swear to goodness, the only time I was near that area was during Bike Week in Daytona. And as we've talked about before, Bike Week in Daytona is amateur week. So you guys just get the heck out of there. And tourists like me who have really pale skin and haven't seen sun for more than a day in our life.
And I left the day before Bike Week began, if you remember.
Oh,
I
yes.
was up there for the weekend.
Yes. Well played. Well played.
Even the locals don't go.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we're going, bye. Yeah. Here comes Jim. I'm like the only guy there with no ink on his body. You know, I look like I'm a dead fish floating in Lake Michigan. Yeah. Here comes that guy from Chicago. Check him out. He doesn't. Yeah. They think I'm some kind of I'm going to be like the guy from Falling Down. He doesn't. What's he doing here? And they're all these guys.
Yeah, but I love history stuff, Jim. Give me history stuff. My son absorbs it. He's like a sponge when it comes to that stuff. So I love to do historic stuff.
God, that is just. I just love. This was
gambling.
Oh, and gambling. Do they go to the boat? Do they go to the casino? What do they?
I go to the boat. I go to the boat. They were actually giving shots out at Cape Canaveral, Port Canaveral, and you could get two tickets on Victory Cruise Line if you got your Pfizer shot there.
Oh, right on. Nice. Yeah. Nice. So. Excellent. Well, Alicia, we have Pablo waiting in the on-deck circle here a little bit, so he's going to be joining us. So do me a favor, tell everybody your socials. Where can people find you here on Haps and everywhere else?
Yeah, Haps Space Gal, Instagram _Space Gal _ Twitter _Space Gal _ Facebook Periscope Space Gal, and I guess and Twitch is Space Gal.
Perfect.
And YouTube is Space Gal.
Perfect. Alicia, my friend, thank you for all of your amazing contributions here on Haps. And also, it was fun watching your casts over on Periscope as well. And stick around. If you have time to hang out a little bit, I know you have to bolt later on, but hang out and have some fun with us. I'll let you.
Real quick. Yeah. Tune in Saturday. We have a launch at 6:58 p.m. for SpaceX Starlink launch.
That's what I meant to ask you. One quick question. Tell about the one Saturday and what other launches are coming up.
We have ULA on May 17th at 1:35 p.m. We have SpaceX Sirius XM at 12:25 a.m. on June 1st. SpaceX CRS 22 on 6/3. Those are the next ones coming up.
5:17, 5 and 6/3. Got it.
Yep.
Boom. Sweet. Alicia, you are the best.
Thank
you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Space Gal, ladies and gentlemen, right there. All right. When we come back to the JS Live Late Night Talk and Variety program, we will be joined by HAPS community leader Pablo De La Hoya. Don't move as the JS Live Prime Time Talk and Variety program on a Tuesday continues right after this, right here on HAPS. Whoa! And just like that, we're back. I feel better. I feel better. Man, it feels like Thursday, doesn't it? I mean, God, I've been on Thursday here on HAPS for the last 6 months almost. I've been on Periscope for 6 years on Thursdays, and then softball happens. Oh, well, fear not. Fear not, we will be fine. At least this is one stepping stone closer to the weekend, right? Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Welcome back to JS Live, the primetime Talk and Variety program every Tuesday here at our new time, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, here on HAPS, the network of now. Community calendar time, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this upcoming Saturday, our good friend Alexis Candu from beautiful Georgia is organizing and coordinating Salad Saturday. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it all. You've seen desserts. You've seen some great entrees. Well, lo and behold, you can count on your favorite buddies here on HAPS to join in on the fun and the pageantry of Salad Saturday. That's this Saturday, May 15th. I will need lots of salad after my trip to Elmhurst Brewing Company, but we will not get into that. But look at all these great people are going to be on. Look at that list, and if you want to be a part of it, subscribe to Alexis Candu, and she will set you up. And make sure you subscribe to her and sponsor her. She truly personifies what HAPS community is all about. HAPS unity is community. All right. Later in the program, ladies and gentlemen, from Thailand, the one and only John Ho. Will he be traveling? Will he be in the comforts of his own living room showing us his new red light? We'll see what happens. But he's a staple on live streaming media, and he's going to definitely be someone I cannot wait to talk to. But our next guest, I'm going to steal a line from David Letterman. This guest needs no further introduction. No pressure at all here, kids. None at all. None at all. He is a part of the HAPS leadership team. Our very first interview, when we did our very first show on Thursday back on January 7th, happened to be the head of community for HAPS. Of course, that's Peter Bittner. And then earlier back in the spring, I think we had the amazing Mark Goldman on, one of the co-owners of HAPS. Well, lo and behold, now that we've made that transition over here to Tuesdays and preparation for being the pregame for the Beardo and Weirl extravaganza right after our program, we thought, you know what, let's bring somebody in with a little behind the scenes, a little more know-how, a little bit, more of a say as far as things are going around here. I mean, it's almost 6 months for me here on HAPS, for crying out loud. So I thought, you know what, let's bring somebody else into the room to chat with us, ladies and gentlemen. And I think he has director skills. He can wing it, he can improvise, but I think he's going to trust me with the string wheel. If I have too much Elmhurst Brewing Company, he's going to be taking the wheel. But easy, I'm taking water here. I always do water. I always do water except Saturdays. And it's rebellion time against the wife. Hi, Mo. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from beautiful Southern California, the bike is back up where it belongs. Here he is, your friend of mine. Here he is, Mr. Pablo de la Hoya. Hello, Pablo. How are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going? The bikes aren't where they belong actually this time around because they're
Wait a second. Oh my goodness, they are kind of in like different.
yeah, they're off the wall because I'm getting ready to go out in a second, so I might get interrupted for a little bit. My brother's probably going to pull them out of the shot to get them onto the bike and onto the car so we can get out of here.
Oh
but
my goodness!
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me here. I appreciate it. I'm just going to float back and forth here really quick, and we'll get you in on this. And again, you can. This kid's got director skills. Matter of fact, this poor guy was on my very first JS Live Talking Variety program with Peter when we did this thing back on Thursdays around January 7th, to be exact. I think I was here for 3 weeks. And Pablo said, in the pink corner down here, he's like, "Do me a favor, type in the, give me director features," and he bailed me out. We had Peter, Joy, and Fam, and our first musical guest was Nikki Spavoni back then. And thanks for joining us, Pablo. How have you been?
I've been doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us this evening. And kudos to you on another Tutorial Tuesday or Techie Tuesday. I think, now does Carrie Long gets royalties or naming rights for that, right? Or we say it. So I just noticed, like in the last 5 minutes, my my coins account just went down like 6,000. Joking. No, she's amazing. And
if it were that easy, I'd take everyone's coins.
Oh my God! I'm just gonna say, this is like almost 6 months, and this is. I mean, we all of us Periscope, the island of misfit scopers, as we affectionately call ourselves. Well, some of us do, but everyone's like, "Oh, just is not the same as Periscope." But my God, you guys have made so many improvements over the past 6 months. You and Peter and Lucia and Bark and David and Brett and everybody, the entire HAPS community over there and the leadership team has done an outstanding job. And I just want to commend you, first of all, for all the great things that you have done for us. I'm still shocked that we're still here, and this is only beta mode. I mean, it's gonna go places. It's gonna go places. Let me tell you, Pablo, I could be your agent. Okay.
Well, yeah, the reality of it is that as much as you all like to call yourselves the misfits, you moving over to HAPS and the Periscope community kind of like surprising us with the amount of movement that happened really forced us to kind of push things a little bit faster and get the ball rolling with updates and sustainability of the platform for more users that we weren't ready for. So it's actually been a positive thing on two aspects of it, right? Like numbers are great, but also it has improved and sped up the process of improving the app as much as we possibly can with our small team.
I mean, I've been impressed about how much you guys, as a small HAPS leadership team and small HAPS company, kind of a little small branch of the larger parent company. I mean, the few I'm proud of you guys have done an outstanding job. So bravo to you and the team and everything. I mean, I'm just kind of in awe. I mean, let me think here. Geez. Let me just throw some questions your way here. As I always tell people at the beginning of the broadcast, as a courtesy to all my guests since week one, this is like my 19th week of doing these shows, I usually just send out a list of questions to somebody, preferably not the day of the interview. But I had 2 real interviews that were kind of non-HAPS related, but that's another story. But I just wanted, I usually throw them some questions I can throw at you, and then that way we can kind of have you share it with the audience and everything. So basically, God, let me see. How did you find out about HAPS in the first place? I mean, I didn't know anything about it until one day when Blaine kind of tugged on my sleeve and goes, Jim, go on this Google call with these guys. Come on. How did you hear about HAPS?
Yeah, so when I first heard of HAPS, it was actually for, that I was applying for the job. HAPS wasn't always a platform, right? So something to kind of remember is that we as a company, we're more of a production company, right? So there was more of getting news out to the world, and our home actually was Periscope and Twitter. So that's where you would catch HAPS broadcasts, whether there was news or events just being covered from all over the world. And so I heard about the starts and the beginnings of HAPS through that process, and through the interview process, obviously doing my research and figuring out what HAPS is all about, what were they doing, what were the goals, what was the aspirations. And obviously that's changed a lot since those days, but it's still like, I think, the leadership is still the same, the core values are still the same. And instead of being, a news production company, now we're more of a platform, and that has allowed for people like yourself and like Space Gal to start their own thing, as opposed to us being the key holders for everyone to go live. So we're really excited about where we're going, the direction things are going. But yeah, that's kind of the origin story of that.
Wow, that's something. Now, to explain to us, I believe I have the answer to this, but just clue us in to our virtual studio audience here. When it was a app or a site for journalists or news journalists, it was kind of like either like a side gig or something along those lines. When did the app originally, or the app / website like haps.tv go live for the first time? What year?
Yeah, so that was in March of 2020, where we started kind of publishing and promoting the app as kind of like the closest thing that you see right now. Back in those days, the feed wasn't anywhere near what it looks like now. It was topics, and so people that came on HAPS would see a topic and say, "Oh, I can go live about that topic." So they'll click the topic, they'll go live, and then they'll fill in that gap. So it was very different. It was very news centric, and more so about if you come to HAPS and wanted to get your daily news, world news, US news, and whatnot, you would be able to easily maneuver that. And then obviously it started getting bigger and bigger, and categories started changing. So that's kind of what happened there. But yeah, it started and launched officially in March of 2020. So I don't think, well, I can't say officially because we don't really have a date to it, but that's about the time where we kind of came back. And after taking a little bit of a hiatus in January of 2020 to regroup and launch the app and website as it is. And I've been making a lot of improvements and changes since then. It started off, as I mentioned, very news centric. In about August of 2020, September of 2020, we started seeing people like Euro Maestro, Chantel TV, Bobby Bicker, Luis Poppy, and then it just kept going bigger and bigger from there. And it was really awesome to see people discovering that platform and the app, and then realizing the tools that are present here with our studio and taking advantage of that.
Wow, that's something, because I think the very first time I saw HAPS was with Chantal TV. She did a interview with Luis Poppy and Rosalina Calaveri from Italy.
Yeah, from Italy.
And this was like November of last year. And Periscope was still kind of cooking along. But I noticed that was being simulblasted, or multicast rather, over onto Periscope. But obviously the little bumpers and the little bugs and everything were in the corner. So it was unlike anything I ever saw before. And I was just curious, because the resolution was clear. There were 3 people in the room. We have not seen anything like that, us scopers, since the Blab days. I don't remember Blab. And Blab was the king of, if you thought latency was an issue back in November, man, you should have seen Blab back then. I couldn't even go there. I was just so dead. But anyway, hey, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to the JS Live Primetime Talk and Variety program. Yes, primetime, we're on at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, every Tuesday night here on HAPS. We're joined by HAPS Community Manager Pablo de la Hoya. Pablo, question for you. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Let's go back to college. You went to UCal Berkeley, right? Ooh, got muted. There you go.
Sorry, I muted myself because the dog moved.
You muted me. You're good.
I went to UC Berkeley's Graduate School of Journalism for my master's.
Gotcha. Very good. Now, did Peter Peter went to Berkeley too, didn't he?
Yeah, so that's actually where we first met. He was a year ahead of me, so he graduated in 2017, and I graduated in 2018.
Okay, gotcha. And Peter had the same major?
Yeah, but so the cool thing about the graduate school there is that although we're all studying journalism, we each kind of pick a focus, and Peter focused on what was called new media in that day. So more about coding, taking things to like another level of journalism and diving deeper into that level of it. And I focused on documentary filmmaking and documentary photography, so long form storytelling. I was fortunate enough to finish 2 documentaries while I was there, one that I was a producer for, and then one that I directed.
Wow.
And so, yeah, a lot of fun.
Can you tell us about one of the documentaries or both of the documentaries that you did?
Sure. Yeah. So I actually live premiered the one that I directed here on HAPS. So if you search Caminos de Boyle Heights and then look for a post with that title, you'll find my documentary there, and you can watch it on my profile. The other one that I worked on as a producer is called Hail, and you can find that on Amazon or KQED's Truly California website. That film actually won the Student Academy Award in 2017, and is about a disability rights activist that was a leader of the movement of the 1960s in San Francisco, and a huge role in making public transportation, sidewalks, roads more accessible to people with disabilities. So a really interesting character. And if you have time, 21 minutes of your time, I strongly recommend watching that film. It's called Hail, and you can find it for free on KQED Truly California.
So on KQED, it's called Hail. All right, I will definitely have to watch that and check that out. God, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to the JS Live Primetime Talkin' Friday program here on a Tuesday night here. We're every Tuesdays now from 9 p.m. Eastern, and also we start over at 6 p.m. Pacific over there on the West Coast, talking with HAPS community leader and community manager, Pablo De La Hoya. Pablo, you're on this app like 18 hours a day. Flat out, at minimum 18 hours a day. I think what happens is they got the little monitoring device. Mark and David kind of tap up the monitoring device around your ankle or something like that. So you've got one for your bike and one for your, where you're on checking out everyone's broadcasts here. Oh my goodness, I was just out of curiosity. But you've got some time you can have for yourself, I guess. Sometimes they kind of, let you go, and they kind of take the bird and go, they let you go. But during go ahead.
we learned to manage our own time, but to be honest with you, on December 15th, when we got that huge influx of users, I don't think we did manage our time very well. Between Peter and I, we were probably spending anything between, our full 24 hours of a day on HAPS, or trying to take turns to sleep. So we would say, all right, I'll take the early morning shift and you'll take the late night shift, and kind of helping each other on that front to make sure that, we knew that our platform in those times wasn't made for everyone, right? Like we had knowledge that everyone that came over would need extra hand holding. So we wanted to be as present as possible and saying hello to as many people as possible to explain the platform, given the circumstances of how unique and different and specific it was built for. So, yeah.
Right. I would love to been a bug on the wall over there at HAPS HQ, a little bug on the wall, like the day after Periscope is announcing, or Twitter is announcing that Periscope's biting the dust. And there was a rumor that it was going to shut down anyway. But were you guys looking at, it felt like a fantasy football draft? And you're picking out okay, first round, it's going to be Bobby Bicker, Randy Orton, Deacon Doe. It's going to be, was it like fantasy football where they assigned accounts to you and Peter to just kind of follow up on or just hang out with, or how do you guys do that? It was just out of curiosity.
Yeah, so we quickly turned into account managers, really. So had to go to business school really quickly and get educated on what that meant and how to manage, users and be more of a customer service personality on the platform. But what we really did is, we kind of what we were doing prior to November, December was doing individual outreach and trying to get as many users interested in live broadcasting, interested in the tools to go live on HAPS to try it out. When the platform went from individual outreach to grow to just natural growth, we moved away from being managers of users and more towards being managers of the platform. So the first few meetings that we had that were group meetings that you were a part of were really just with folks that, we were made aware of by some of the original broadcasters that came over from Periscope, like Bobby, Euro, Chantal, Louise, that we could talk to kind of get a hold of. So it was a small group. It was very early, and we quickly learned that there was a lot more. And we're really excited about, you all playing a role in helping bring the rest of, the Periscope community that did eventually make it over to HAPS. And it's been an exciting ride, but really it just kind of turned into managing everything.
The assist goes to Blaine, who is the one that brought me into the Google Meet call that day, and also to Luis Poppy. But Blaine always will get the accolades for that. So bravo to Blaine. Hey, we have about 5 more minutes here before we get Mr. John M. Ho to join us from beautiful scenic Thailand. So one other question I meant to ask you during the, during your Periscope community Q&As and the broadcasts of the week casts and everything, you make short, brief references to biking. Now, is biking one of your favorite sports, or do you enjoy other sports and hobbies? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so funny enough, cycling kind of came into my life right around the start of the pandemic. I quickly realized, gyms are going to close. There's not going to be a lot of options for exercise besides going outside. And prior to that, I enjoyed running, but my knees were just kind of getting really beat up from running so much. So I decided to take on buying a bike and then started cycling. Really got into it over the summer of 2020 and have not turned back since. But the reality is that that's just a small hobby of mine. This wall behind me is another hobby, which is racing, right? I'm a huge fan of Formula One. Also driving myself. I've actually taken my car out to racetracks and done that. And then the last one I do on the weekends occasionally is paintball, which is something that I've grown up with since high school, and I used to play in tournaments and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of like my sports hobbies list. Those are the top 3 right now that I really enjoy.
How did you find a bike during COVID? I mean, those things are going to be almost as obscure as gas here in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Yeah. So I was lucky that I did it right as the news started coming out, and before the craze for bikes started happening. And I remember when it started happening, because then my brother has always been into mountain biking and didn't have a road bike. But as I got my road bike and we started going on rides together, he quickly realized that being on a mountain bike wasn't good, gonna help. So he needed his own road bike. And when he did go to get his road bike, he got the last one of his size. So we quickly realized this is going to be a problem for the next few months, and people are not going to be able to get it.
So the last of the lot, and then that was it. Poof, just like that. God, unbelievable. One other question. We have about 3 minutes left before John jumps on. HAPS has made great progress over the live streaming as a live streaming platform for the last 5 to 6 months. Is there a possibility you could provide us with a little preview or a sneak peek of what we might be able to expect over the next 6 months down the road?
Yeah, so I might get in trouble for this, but something that I'm really looking forward to is there's going to be a huge redesign of the app and platform coming in the next couple months, and it's going to look a lot better than it does now, and we're really excited about it.
Awesome. That is, I mean, I love this already. I mean, I love doing broadcast studio and everything. This is just really amazing. So thank you for the insights. Kenny, you got to go biking. Get out of here.
Yeah, I got to go catch the sunset and go
Go get
live.
a sunset and, have fun out there. Pablo, thank you so much. Plug your handles and your socials, please.
Yeah, so you probably won't find me on socials because I'm private on everything besides HAPS. Here's the best place to find me and get a hold of me. So you all have my email, I think, at this point. I think something's going on with this program window.
Fantabulous. Very good. Pablo, go out there, go catch that sunset. Think of Chicago freezing when it's like 45 degrees at this hour, right?
Oh, it's 70 degrees and sunny here. So.
Yeah, bah humbug. Enjoy. Pablo, thank you so much, my friend. Have a good one.
Yeah.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Pablo de la Hoya, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that was the HAPS community leader. All right, there he goes. He's off to go riding a bike, and we're going to have some fun. Matter of fact, when we come back, we are going to go 12 hours ahead of us. We're going to jump into a Wednesday morning in beautiful Thailand, where we will be joined by the incomparable John Ho. Stick around as the JS Live Primetime Variety program continues from Chicago straight ahead. Don't move. Oh, hi, we're back. Welcome back to the JS Live Tuesday night primetime talk and variety program here on HAPS, the network of Now Jim in Chicago. Thanking you for spending your Tuesday night with me here. Don't forget, coming up after my program, it's Beardo and Weirdo with Blaine and Piano Man and a bunch of surprises. That happens up next over most of this HAPS network, so make sure you check that out. Community service reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Emmy Rich, someone who I had the honor and privilege of having on my special European edition of the JS Live Worldwide Spectacular a couple of weeks back, has a new launch coming up later this month. She had an hour of studio time as her and a piano and her thoughts, and she whipped together in 60 minutes some original great content. And we previewed that on my show a couple weeks ago. So make sure you check out emmyrich.com. Visit her, subscribe to her, sponsor her, emmyrich.com. All right. Thank you very much. Welcome back. And also another quick programming note here. We mentioned this earlier today. The community calendar. This Saturday, it's Salad Saturday. Yes, I am so excited for Alexis Can Do and all these amazing cooks and chefs and food aficionados. I am so honored to announce that this Saturday, it is going to be Salad Saturday here on HAPS, the network of Now. Look at some of the great names we're going to have on there. We have Aiden Leeds from over there across the pond. We have Zen Squad. We got Bronx Viking. He's going to be making an appearance. Melanie Fay, who's on her caps. The amazing J Opera from Missouri. Gemma from England. Darby, and so many other talented people. So make sure you check that out. If you want to register, make sure you subscribe and support the amazing Alexis Can Do. She was a guest on our show here, oh my goodness, about 2 or 3 months ago, something to that extent. So make sure you check her out. All right, guys. Next week, we're back here Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. So make sure you join us for that here on HAPS. And without further ado, our next guest hails from beautiful Taiwan. He is not only a co-living space owner, He is a remarkable contributor to so many live streaming platforms. You can find him. I remember him back in the old days with the Ho chats over on Periscope, and you never know, there might be a Ho chat happening at a theater near you. A great friend and a great contributor, truly personifies what HAPS community is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, Going Mobile. Woohoo! Beep, beep. It's John Ho. Hey, John, what's going on, sir? How are you?
Hey there.
He's going.
Is audio and video okay?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. Good seeing you, sir. How have you been?
Am I in frame?
You are. You are. We're live and nationwide now. What's going to get interesting here is when I split this screen up. Oh, we've got we've got shoulder cams, so we're don't lose control of the car.
Yeah, I'm about 2 minutes away.
Oh,
from
you know what? Let's go full screen. You don't have to look at my mug, guys. Look at John. How are you? Good seeing you, sir.
Hey, everyone. Good. Thanks for inviting, Jim. It's an honor.
How's the
Never thought I would
family?
be. The family is chaotic, yo. I don't know. Who wants kids, you have to think twice or thrice.
Oh, I hope my wife's watching.
That's my only advice for future parents. Yeah, and 1 + 1 is not 2. Okay?
Double down, right?
Yeah, you think you're good at time management until you have kids.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. And then, but I don't know if they do this over in Thailand, but here we have a thing called dependence, and we can claim that. And at least up until recently, it used to bring us lots of money. So I don't know if that's going to happen again here. We'll see.
You mean being able to kick them out when they reach 18?
Yeah.
I wish they have that thing here. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah, that's only in Thailand, exactly. Thanks for hanging out with us.
How you doing, Jim?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for spending time with us here. I'm playing with the broadcast studio, trying to see if I could fit you in here, but yeah, we'll just stick to John for now. It's like I said, this is just improvisation 101 here. I'm just having fun. So where do I start? God, I saw you, God, what, 5 years, almost over 6 years ago, actually. I remember you being on Periscope. I remember seeing Joanne Pham, Greg Lopez, Web Evie, Sandy Choi, Alan Paradise, was Alan Tokyo back then, obviously David Osaka. And then there was this guy, John Ho, in like middle of the night, like 1, 2 in the morning here, which is 2 in the afternoon, John's time. He had a little, he just did this very like down to earth, spontaneous, just no filter, like tell it like it is, shoot from the hip. I mean, God, how's life here on HAPS so far for you? You adjusting, or what's the story here?
Well, 5 years ago, I was newlywed.
Right.
Without any kids. I was in Hong Kong. And then fast forwarding now, Periscope is gone.
Yep.
So did 90% of the viewers. Yeah, exactly. But no, I still love live stream. This is by far my favorite type of content that I want to do.
Right.
And then there's Clubhouse. I don't know if you've heard.
Yes, love Clubhouse.
But for me, I guess HAPS over the years from moving over from Periscope to here, it's like a continuation of, okay, the platform's gone, but the people is here, and they've kind of migrated to this platform. So I'm really happy. I can still see like all these people,
Say even the virtual to the audience. That's what I love about this cast.
Yeah, Alexis, Takara. Yeah, some of the names are so familiar. It's like, oh, okay.
Everybody is incredible.
I know you guys.
That's what this platform's about. It's the community. People like Sweet Pea Leslie and Takara and Vanita and Kimberly and Sports for the Blind and everybody in this room. Each of you, and James is in here. Each of you have a story, and people want to hear about it. And if it wasn't for you guys, John and I wouldn't be probably talking to each other right now. If you think about it,
Yeah, and I wouldn't be traveling the way I've been traveling since Periscope. The thing that it's kind of a downer for me is obviously pandemic, and I know people are going to
Yeah.
yell at me because being able to travel is not the first thing that comes in mind, but
Right.
because I've been doing so many travel scopes when I was in Periscope,
Yep.
you know, and it totally changed my lifestyle when I would go travel with Periscope. My wife would have to tolerate my egotistic side of just streaming and traveling with her at the same time, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
met Dave in Osaka,
Yes.
Keizo
Yes.
in Japan. I met a couple of people in Dubai. When I was in Barcelona, Spain, I also met a few periscopers back in the days that they were still active. And then
Okay.
we have the LA scope meetup, and then the Hong Kong scopers, and
Yep.
it was just amazing. It was just fantastic. I missed those days.
Oh my God,
And I
yeah.
mi-
The LA
yeah,
meetup, I remember there was an epic number of people. You were there and so many others. You were with, I think, Joanne, and a bunch of others there. God, that was, which one was your favorite meetup? The Hong Kong one was epic too. Which was your favorite meetup?
I think oh man, yeah, I don't want to besides the LA meetup was great. I have to say the LA meetup was a group of people that I've seen so many times on screen, and we had so many people flying from all over the world actually meeting in LA. Not so it's not only the LA scopers; it was also more people from outside of LA that came over. That was one of my favorite.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Hey, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to the JS Live Late Night Talk and Variety program. It's no longer late night, it's prime time here in Chicago, or in John's case over there in Thailand, it's bright and early at 9:08 a.m. on a Wednesday over there. And try to see if we can do, oh, there we go. Thank you, John. That's going to help a lot. That way I can kind of just go boom like that. Look at the great outdoors over here, guys. Look at this. John's out and about. You heading to the office?
This is a honey shop right next to
Let's.
our
I'm
temporary
heck with my
office.
mug. Let's go to John. Go ahead. There we go. Show us around. What do you got?
อ๋อโอเคครับคุณครับรอสักครู่เหรอห้านาทีครับ Okay. The lady at the honey shop was like, "Hey, can you just back up your car because you're on my spot?"
Oh, oh.
No,
one second.
no, it's okay. In Thailand, people are more lenient than most of the country, so it's okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
cool.
want to, yeah, I just
Hope
wanted
you
to
have
give
gas
this
over there. You've got gas over there now.
gas.
Yeah, gas.
What's up with the gas situation? I hear
Kind of
you
a
mentioning
little cyber alleged cyber attack thing out east. So there's kind of states of emergency in Virginia and Florida and North Carolina because of fears of gas running out and rationing possibly. So kind of a messed up
Really?
situation. No gas in Atlanta, according to Kimberly. Yikes. So
No
weird
gas.
stuff. Only in America.
You
God.
guys gotta just move over to Thailand, man. It's cheaper. The gas is abundant, and we have Americans here.
That's true. I was just gonna say, right? God. So, hey, we're talking with John Ho, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this man right over here. Great content, great friend. And I remember you were like scoping during that whole Hong Kong and Taiwan situation. I mean, politically, it got kind of intense there for a while. What was that about?
You mean the recent protest?
Yeah, yeah. This was like, was it
Some
last year or 2 years ago? I'm trying to remember when that was because I remember you were right on the streets after, like the day after it all happened. It was just wild. There's John. You're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So, give me 1 second here. Hold on. You should be fine now. There. Are you there now?
I can see you. I don't know if you guys can see me.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I mean Hong Kong. It's pretty depressing, I have to say. I haven't been talking much about it.
Yeah.
But they just announced a lot more cutback on the media companies. So there's a very popular newspaper that's pro-democratic, and I think they're struggling to sustain. business.
Okay.
Can you hear me fine still?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
And the youth, it's mainly with the youth. They're really just looking for places to migrate to, or figuring out what to do with their lives in the next couple of years. I rarely talk bad stuff about Hong Kong, but I must say it's not a good place to be these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I mean, it seems more democratic and free now. It feels like people are hindered and kind of restricted from doing what they want to do, and they're kind of doing this and
enjoy your freedom.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. But changing gears here really quick, I don't want to dwell on that stuff, but I know that once COVID subsides, once all this stuff goes away, are there any travel destinations on your bucket list?
Oh, for sure. I think Switzerland is going to be the first destination I want to go, simply because I made a great friend in Periscope, and he's actually my son's godfather. We planned the trip a year ago, and we weren't able to go there. So when everything is lifted, and hopefully things will go back to normal of some sort, at least, that will be my first place that I want to visit, and bring my family too.
Nice. I heard it's beautiful. Jail's out there, obviously. So I want to get him on a European JS Live here, because right now it's like, what, 3 a.m. over there. I don't think Jail wants to wake up at 3 a.m. But
nah, that's not going to happen.
No. But yeah, so trying to Jail in Switzerland is too. I mean, great friend and great content. And, he's just bringing the one all the time. And I know that you mentioned the meetups and everything like that. I mean, God, you met so many other great people. But tell us about some of your favorite some of your earlier and your favorite scopes that you did over there on Periscope.
Right. So, I mean, I'm Asian centric, right? So I pay attention to more things happening in this region. Dave in Osaka, of course. Keizo, the gang.
Yes. Yuka and Saki and.
Yeah. So there's a group of Japanese scopers that I would follow actively, but in the States, now that Penguin is in Washington D.C., I know he's doing very well in YouTube. I don't know if he's really active in HAPS still. Is he around?
Little bit. He was near the White House today, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy is my favorite walking scoper. His brain is just filled with knowledge and facts, and I describe him as a human Wikipedia. He knows everything about something. Yeah. I mean, those were my favorite scopes. Obviously, you have the Doug and Ali show. I like them messing around just in their studio. Mike tends to travel in LA.
John Ho.
Yeah. And then there's Mike, and Mike tends to travel in LA.
Yes.
I don't know how active he is, but those were the ones that I could, it came out on top of my head.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Mike Tends to Travel was just on Peter Bittner's roundtable interview discussion last week, and he's definitely, he's on here. He's doing a lot of YouTube stuff, but he's hit or miss here on HAPS. But he's also talking about a guy that knows LA inside and out, and he's definitely one of those guys. But hey, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome aboard to the JS Live Primetime Talking Friday program, or in John's case over here, it's the bright and early Jim Surin morning show on a Wednesday. We do this every Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, 9 Thailand time the day after me. And we're joined by John M. Ho. Make sure you subscribe to him. John, you were just recently broadcasting from one of your creations. I mean, you're building these big, beautiful, new co-living projects in Thailand. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think I got lucked in. I always wanted to have a space for a community from all over the world. So the concept of co-living came about a couple years ago, and I realized it's actually a trend of a lot of younger people, digital nomads, remote workers, just people who are a little bit more in the new economy, trying to find a space that they can live together. Kind of like back in the old college days, but now you're a professional. You still want to hang with people with a little bit more privacy and, upper scale kind of decor. So we found this guest house in the middle of Chiang Mai, the city where I'm living in Thailand. And we decided to put in some money, renovate it, build another building at the back. And we're creating this co-living and co-working space. And it's going to be ready next week.
Wow. That is so awesome. So awesome. Now you were kind of giving us a little preview. Make sure you guys subscribe to John, because he was, we saw your cast. They took the scaffolding from off the front of the building. It looks spectacular. And they were working on a little coffee shop down there. It's kind of a nice place where people can, toast a bagel, grab some coffee before they head out.
Yep.
What last second details are being done to the building before it formally opens?
So we need to finish up the furniture, the fixtures for the cafe. Organic brewed Chiang Mai coffee, the best in the world. We have 40 co-working desks, super high-speed internet. We have phone booths, meeting rooms, just really, really cool space to hang with. And then we have some private offices and also 27 private rooms with communal living space. So it's fantastic. Like, I don't know if I can. Oh, actually, I think. Well, let me see if I can type it in here. It's called Alt Co-Living. If you don't mind me doing a little.
Oh, please do. Like I said, I love the spontaneity. That's why I do the show. I mean, it's supposed to be like a formatted talk show, but I like the raw on the cuff and not the pre-processed live stream. I like having fun and spontaneity.
Man, I wish I have more flexible fingers now.
Okay, well, I could plug our upcoming events while you do that. I can plug my good friends at Elmhurst Brewing Company here in Chicago. There it is. Oh, so I don't even have to switch away to a plug here. Yes, there it is. So check out that website, guys. John is doing something that's pretty unique over there in Thailand. Now, you mentioned like conference rooms and business rooms. Are there going to be like rooms for people want to do like a Zoom call or a Teams call, where businesses can get together and kind of powwow a little bit?
The whole space is designed for co-living. So if you're a working professional and you're traveling to Thailand, this is the space you want to be at, right? Because the moment you check in, you get your own private space, but you also have your own working desk. So you're set, right? You're ready to go. Open your laptop, connect to the internet, and then you can do your video conferencing or coding or whatever thing you want to do. And then there's also outdoor space. There's a rooftop. There's community, cool people from all around the world. We can hang with. We were floating the idea, and I think Mark is here.
Yeah, Mark is
in
here.
the future, when things are opening up, we can do like a HAPS community meetup in Thailand, and maybe my co-living space can do some sponsoring. Wink, wink.
I would definitely fly out there in a second. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Maureen, can I go to Thailand for like 5 years? No. Sorry.
And the connection gets cut off.
And Space Gal's in here too. Space Gal will fly in, and we'll get Mark out there. We'll get the HAPS leadership team out there. I mean, we could do Los Angeles, of course, but what we can do is we can do Los Angeles, and they can just hop, skip, and jump over to Thailand for another. How long is the flight from LA to Thailand? 10 hours.
I mean, what I would love to do is eventually, right? I'll make a trip to USA, and I'll do maybe a month or 2 months of traveling, and I'll just visit like cities after cities of all the streamers, the broadcasters that I know of, and I'm just going to do a road trip with my kids. So, it's a kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. I haven't been back for like 3 years already. God, I miss the place, and I keep saying I want to visit. Doug and Ali. I want to visit Sarah. I want to visit. Rick, in Boston.
Oh yeah, Rick Homer. I miss.
Yeah. Remember Rick, right? Awesome. Yeah. And so there's so many places I haven't been to in the States, and I think this would be a great opportunity for me to just like go back and meet with people and just build some, relationships. I love it.
You go to Detroit. I'll take the 6-hour drive from Chicago. I'll go back to Detroit. Detroit is so fun. I mean, Detroit always gets a bad rap, and There are so many great restaurants, so many great clubs, and so much great culture, and the architecture is just to die for.
I've never been, but I would love to go there as long as I don't get shot.
No, oh come on, Chicago is
kidding.
Chicago's safe nowadays, right?
That's what people think.
Come here, yeah.
In Asia, it's like, oh, Detroit, that's a dangerous place.
Yeah, but at any rate, hey, if you're just jumping,
hey, Mark, how's it going?
You're just jumping in the room. We've got about 5 more minutes with the amazing John Ho. Make sure you subscribe to him, and more importantly, sponsor this man here on
Ham Radio Community. What is that? What's a ham radio community, Anthony?
Ham Radio Community. Oh, AD. He's doing a interview show on Sunday. Ham Radio. Basically, ham radio is like an old shortwave radio. If I can pan this way a little bit here, let me see if it works. That way back there is a old shortwave radio that used to get broadcasts from all the way around the world, and it's like an international version of a CB radio.
I don't know if people know this, but there's actually a lot of veterans, like older veterans who's still living in Thailand right now.
Oh,
and I bet some of these people have those, like old school devices at their home, and they're still playing around with it. I won't be surprised if I see one, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, our virtual studio audience, I guess Space Scout, Alicia just mentioned it's like a CB radio. That's a place you got to go, John. Go down to Florida, hang out with Space Gal, watch some rocket launches over there. And Junk Food Junkie mentioned Susie Berlin. I want Susie Berlin on Periscope or on Haps. I want Susie.
Yeah, Florida. What is there? The tiger person, Joe, Exotic Joe.
Oh, Exotic Joe. Oh my God. There's another name. Oh my God. And Raccoon Todd. I mean, everyone, if we're talking about animals here,
Yeah. We should get Exotic Joe to do Haps. That would get a lot of viewers.
That'd be worth the price of admission.
Get Exotic Joe.
He's still trying to get out of jail.
Man, that guy.
Oh my God. The other thing I was going to ask you here, I'm having a brain cramp here. As far as that building is just, I'm still thinking about that building. That building just completely brings back memories. So let's go back to the Wayback Machine. Since we're talking about some old Periscope people, do you remember your first live stream on Periscope and what was it about?
Yeah, I think I remember the first one, but I don't know. Like one of the very first, at least. It was just right downstairs of where I live in this place called Teen Hao. And so it's just a residential area, but it's, very busy. There's buses, there's the tram, there's a subway. And I was just walking out from my home and thinking, okay, maybe I should just hit the go live button and see what happens. And so I did that. And back in those days, there's a feature in Periscope where there's a map, and people can look at the map, and if they see the red dot, they can click onto it, and they can see someone going live there. And in Asia, it was like a no man's land. There's like barely anyone doing any live stream. Right. So I think that was the reason why when I first went live, I had like so many viewers that I wasn't sure what to do with them. Like people were asking me all these questions like, do you eat dogs? Do you know Kung Fu?
Oh, geez. Are you serious? So you got the troll.
Where's Jackie Chan?
Oh,
and so open
box.
box.
Pam got that crap too.
No, I mean I wasn't offended or anything. I just find it a little hilarious because it's like at first I thought they were trolling, but then if I think a little bit harder, it's like there are people who actually don't know anything about Hong Kong, and it's not it's not their fault if they don't know if we don't eat dogs. Because the mainland Chinese, there's some of them they still eat dogs, right?
I know. They're getting stuck to these typical American stereotypes. You know what I mean? It's just kids can be old hat.
Well, just to give you guys a break, I don't think it's all Americans. There's also Turks as well.
Oh, of course, open bobs. Like,
there's the Turks, and then there's the Americans.
Yeah, we're typical Americans. Sloppy second. No. Yeah,
On the record, I still love you guys.
I know. I'm just. You get the idea. But no, but it just, it just.
No, I mean, the thing that got me so in love with live streaming is I'm not facing the camera onto my face most of the time. I'm actually using my camera to point outwards. So whatever I see, I show it to the viewers.
Right.
And back in those days when I was in Hong Kong, everything is buzzing, the noise, the movements, the billboards, and the people, and all that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what was really capturing for the viewers were, that vibrant lifestyle in Hong Kong, and most of the people, especially those living in the rural area, or they haven't been to Asia, they're like, what is this place? Because they never imagined a place called Hong Kong would be like this. I think that was the appeal. And I love the engagement. I love just answering questions, like dealing with trolls, and making friendships with periscopers, because we would also follow each other and talk to each other. I loved it. I still like it.
And that's one of the things that you and Dave and Yuka and Keizo and a bunch of others around, not just limited to the Far East, but around the world, as Mark just mentioned, we break the barriers, we overcome the stereotypes, we de-troll the trolls, we tell them our story, and listeners tell us their story. It's a two-way street, and that's why HAPS Unity is community, and there's no disconnect there. I mean, if someone just goes on Twitter right now and types in some kind of a trolly comment, it's going to be misinterpreted in 50 billion ways. When you're speaking, it's,
So now people know that us folks in Hong Kong, we don't eat dogs, right? We only eat dogs once a year during Christmas, just to piss off the Americans. Okay. No, that's a joke too.
I'm sort of going, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. My friend from Jakarta says that one to me too. She tries running that past me too. She's like,
no, because after like 20 questions of people asking me, about the dog question, I just have to think of something creative to answer them.
Yeah, that's just like unbelievable. So, in closing, I know you got a lot of stuff. It's already 9:30. It's already the work day over there for Johnny. You got a lot of projects going on. Do me a favor, please plug all of your socials.
Twitter, Instagram, HAPS, obviously, Clubhouse, and I have a YouTube, but I'm not too active in it. So it's all John M. Ho, same as here. I think right now, just try to be open-minded and explore all platforms, right? I still do broadcasts in Twitter, in fact, and also I use HAPS to do it. I just did one yesterday, just outside of my home. There were some cows, and I was hanging with my kid, my son. But Clubhouse is also great if you like audio-based content. I do Cantonese most of the time. But yeah, feel free to follow. When I have the co-living space open, what I will do is I plan to do a little bit more interviews, like what you're doing here, Jim. And This is great, by the way. So thanks you again for bringing me in here.
Thank you.
When we have interesting people staying at our co-living, I definitely want to sit down with them. I want to talk with them. I want to show you guys about their perspective being in Chiang Mai, being a remote worker in Chiang Mai and living at our space. So
absolutely. I would love to watch that. I'm sure all of our viewers would definitely love to check that out too. I mean, I remember the days that when you used to roam Hong Kong, and when Dave and Osaka showed the cherry blossoms, and when Keizo still does it, Dave does sometimes. I mean, Yuka still shows Mount Fuji.
I love those scopes.
Aren't those amazing?
So much.
I know, and you guys were the pioneers for that during the Periscope days, and for us newbies that joined, did our first scopes the following July in 2015, we are forever indebted. So, John, my friend, have a great Wednesday over there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Jim, again, and for all the people who have commented and I haven't been able to respond to you. Guys, I'll see you around in HAPS, or if not, Instagram. This is great. Invite me again. I'll even be more annoying.
No, the spontaneity is the best feature. That's what I love about this app, and that's what I like about having these guests on here. And it's just, I mean, I sent John a list of questions before we go live, kind of scripted, so we have something to work off of. And I think we've successfully gone off of that pretty well. We just improvise, so that's the best part of it. I love it. Love it.
Yep.
So, John, my friend, have a great Wednesday over there. Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
See you, bud. Take care.
Bye.
That is the amazing John Ho, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeedy. And yes, indeedy. And I think that I have a couple of community calendar reminders here for you. Yes, a couple of community calendar reminders before I send you over to Beardo and Weirdo. Blaine, his handle's BC48. Candleman's handles, Candleman 50. The Beardo and Weirdo show is up next over most of this HAPS network. So thank you to Blaine, thank you to Candleman for letting me jump on here and do the pregame before the real main event. That's with Blaine and Candleman. So make sure you check that out. A couple of reminders here, kids. Thank you, guys. A couple of reminders. Saturday, my friend Alexis Can Do is hosting the HAPS Salad Saturday. This Saturday, May 15th. These great broadcasters and others will be sharing their talents, creating delicious salads. So if you want to be a part of this, subscribe and sponsor Alexis Can Do here on HAPS. So make sure you check that out, all right? Emmy Rich, my good friend over there in Sweden, has a new piano CD that's going to drop later this month. Visit emmyrich.com and you can subscribe to her here on HAPS. She does some live gigs here as well from the comforts of her own home. But she has a 60-minute CD with some great music on it. Make sure you check out emmyrich.com. And last but not least, Elmhurst Brewing Company. Why is there no trivia this Saturday? Because I will be at Elmhurst Brewing Company, elmhurstbrewingcompany.com, Saturday, May 15th. We'll be joined by members of the 10-time champion ball snatcher softball team. They'll be pouring beers for yours truly and my friends, and we better win Thursday because we have a softball game Thursday. So honor and support small businesses, support small breweries, including Elmhurst Brewing Company, elmhurstbrewingcompany.com here in Chicago. All right, that does it for me. Thank you for making the transition to Thursday nights, everybody. I know it's kind of a crazy one, but we did it. I'll be off Thursday. Tomorrow night we have Catalyst. It's just a candle, you and your thoughts tomorrow night, and it'll be at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific over most of this HAPS network. Thank you to our guests, the amazing Space Gal, HAPS Community Manager Pablo De La Hoya, and my good friend over there in beautiful Thailand, John Ho, for being my guest this evening. I'll have 3 new guests, 3 new interviews, and more surprises next Tuesday here on the JS Live Primetime Talk and Variety program here from Chicago. That's it. I ran out of time. That's it. All right, guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow night on Catalyst. Until next time, this is Jim from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, thanking all of you guys in here. Space Scout, Junk Food Junkie, Sports for the Blind, Trapper, Mark Goldman, Margaret, Johnny, Richie, Bobby, Cindy, all of you guys. This is Jim from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, bidding you a very pleasant good evening, everybody.